So this morning, Marine One landed on the White House Ellipse, given that the South Lawn is still being repaired under construction. And I went out to film it, but I pushed the wrong button on my camera. I didn't push the autofocus because the autofocus was messing up. I pushed the manual focus, and what do you got? Well, I got some really good footage of a really blurry Joe Biden getting onto a helicopter with the First Lady. So anyway, there's some blurry footage of Marine One's launch this morning. He's usually in the second or third Suburban.
You want to see? Very good.
There he is, he's on.
There it is.
So now the Marine's going to go to the front and close the front door. He yanks it up. Boom. Hey guys, I'm at the 2nd District Police Headquarters in Northwest DC, and behind me you should see some vans, yeah? These are CDU vans, Civil Disobedience Units. And CDU vans are still all over the police headquarters. Why is that? Because they're still not so sure about this weekend, about what's going to happen in some parts of the city. Will they have trouble? Will they not? The CDU teams, they're still active. They're still ready to go. So we're up in Northwest Washington, D.C., upper Northwest Washington, D.C. to be exact. And I'm going to show you a few things I've never shown you before because, well, I don't really come up here that often. But there's a few interesting presidential, historical, and a couple embassies that you guys have been asking to see too. So let's ride around this part of D.C. and let me show you what I can show you. So over here is Sidwell Friends Day School. Sidwell Friends is a Quaker school here in Northwest D.C. And this is where the Obama children went to school, and this is where Hillary Clinton sent Chelsea Clinton to go to high school. It's a very good school, very expensive. And it's a lot more than just that little building. Let's go back behind it, I'll show you. Oh, they got a baseball game, and they're getting clobbered. Let's see how the ball game is. 7-0. Potomac is beating Sidwell 7-0. Ooh, that one's hit high. It's coming way out. It's going to drop. And it's in. No, it's foul. It's foul. So the Potomac School is out in McLean, Virginia. Actually, it's pretty near the CIA headquarters. And it's another private school, a pretty posh private school in Virginia. The bulk of the Sidwell Friends School is actually back here on this back street. I think one of the reasons I haven't brought you guys here is because there's a lot of uphill and downhill back here. I had to wait till I get an electric bike. Whee! Yeah, like I'm gonna give up my momentum for a stop sign. A lot of stuff's in bloom right now. A lot of pretty flowers out. Oh wow, look at these. This is just an explosion. Ah, that's a lot of color. Hang on a second. This has got to go Instagram. What do you guys think? That's going to go on my Instagram, Penguin6. If you guys want to see a better picture of it. I don't know what flowers these are. Let you take a closer look. Kind of grown all over this bush. I wonder if this whole bush has got a flower. Purple ones are pretty too. Okay, let's keep going. Kerchunk. Oh, dead end. So we're on Yuma. Y-U-M-A. In fact, I think the subway runs under this 3700 block of Yuma. And I think we're actually driving on top of the Red Line subway. The subway goes underneath the street, if I'm not mistaken. Well, let's go up this hill a little bit. Uphill's a lot easier with an electric bike. And where are we going to go up to, like 38th, 39th? What's this? 38th Street? Does this go through to where I want to go? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, it does. Let's go. Well, we got a couple more blocks and we'll be there. I don't think I've ever driven on this street. This is no need to. This is like some suburban urban street inside the district. So that was Albemarle. This is Brandywine. All the streets are alphabetical, A, B, C, D. Then it goes to like single syllables, then multi-syllables. So this street up here is going to start with a C, I think. Yeah, Chesapeake. But then we hit an avenue, Nebraska Avenue. Oh, and there's a fort, because that's the fort we're going to. This, get out of here. So this button, this is actually one of those ones, this one actually works. If you don't push the button, you don't get a light. Because they try to keep the lights fixed at green for the cross traffic, because this is a major commuter road. But over there is Fort Reno. This is one of the many forts that ringed Washington, D.C. during the Civil War. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this was one of the largest forts. I think it had like 20 guns and a couple thousand troops. So it's one of what they're called the circle forts, and they surround Washington, D.C. Now, I took you to Fort Stevens a couple months ago. That's where Abraham Lincoln got shot at during the Civil War. But Fort Reno is the guys that actually helped coordinate the defense of Fort Stevens. There we go. Everybody in the park. Oh, another stupid sidewalks. And what we're looking for is just up over there. If we can get there today. Another baseball game going on. So Fort Reno is actually one of the highest points in the District of Columbia. We are far, far up in northwest DC with a great view overlooking the rest of the city. And it's for that reason this fort was picked for its secret mission. Now, how do I get there? Let's just stay on the sidewalk for a bit. Try not to kill anyone. Always a bit tricky. All right, there's a guy doing something with a backpack. I think we just detour. Detour. That mussel flight is still going around. That U.S. Army or Air Force helicopter flight. Oh, come on. What's this? Sorry, I didn't really know there was going to be a drop-off. Whoa! That was insane. That was like a 3-4 foot drop. It's a good thing I'm kind of insane. All right, so what's this? Davenport. Remember I was showing you Chesapeake Street? Now it's Davenport. You getting the whole idea? A, B, C, D? Yeah, cool. And then Donaldson. I don't know why they had 2 D streets, but we're gonna go up Donaldson because Donaldson's cool. Now over there is that big hill. You guys might remember that hill from this winter when I went sledding on that hill with my kids. It was a lot of fun until we hit like a car. But what you guys didn't notice, what most people didn't notice, was this thing. This tower. This tower that looks like a water tower, but it's not. Now, technically, on paper, and I do mean everybody's paper, this tower is part of the Federal Aviation Administration. 4001 Donaldson Place. But this tower has not always been FAA property. This tower is known as the Cartwheel Tower. Now, Cartwheel is, or was, a continuity of government facility here in Northwest DC. Originally built in Kennedy's era, about 1961, it was a microwave relay tower at the highest point in the city to communicate with other microwave relay towers like Cactus, which is now known as Camp David, Crystal, Corkscrew, and a bunch of other presidential emergency facilities. Facilities within 25 minutes flight time of Washington, D.C., where the president could go in case of an emergency. Now, it was deactivated as its primary telecommunications purpose about 30 years ago and handed over to the FAA on paper. Now, there are some who report that the underground bunkers at Cartwheel are still part of the president's emergency facilities network. Following 9/11, Vice President Cheney was spirited away to a secure location that could have been Cartwheel right here in Northwest Washington, D.C. But today, this secret facility just lies around in plain sight. Anybody who knows where to look. Go out on the internet, Google Cartwheel, Corkscrew, Cactus. You'll find out all the information you could possibly ever imagine. So, President's secret bunker up underneath a sledding hill and a couple old water towers. Those are really beautiful water towers. All right, let's go over and find some other cool stuff. So yeah, we went sledding down these hills in the winter. It was pretty insane. I think some of you saw the videos, but this whole thing was basically like a sheet of ice. And like I ended up in the road once or twice. Alrighty, so now we're coming up to the intersection of Nebraska and Connecticut Avenue. Now, most of you have never been here. No tourist really ever comes here. But there's a little strip of shops here that's very popular with the locals, including a pizza place. So let me cut over here. Yep, that is Comet Ping Pong. Comet Ping Pong, that is the pizza place you guys are always asking about. A pizza place I've never been to, my kids have. They said, it's okay, Dad, it's not the best, but it was okay. And that is Comet Pizza. Comet Ping Pong is their official name. And that's the whole location of the Pizzagate. And then down here are some others. Little Red Fox is a nice bakery with milkshakes and ice cream. And this is Politics and Prose. This is a pretty famous bookstore in Washington, D.C. Like all the big political books and the authors will have readings here. C-SPAN comes here to do like book readings and stuff like that, Politics and Prose. So if you're into books, this is actually a really cool place. Anyway, so there's Comet Pizza. Hey, random statue. Let's go take a look. Oh man, look at this hill. What the heck is that? Who is this? John Peter Gabriel Muhlenberg, serving his church, his country, and his state. 1746 to 1807. Does this sound like Declaration of Independence, guys? Muhlenberg? I'm showing my stupidity here. Liturgical, it's got a little scratching back here. Here we go. Clergyman, John Peter Gabriel Muhlenberg, born in Pennsylvania, eldest son, attended university in Germany, was a Luther pastor, and he preached his Time to Pray, Time to Fight sermon in 1776 and recruited a regiment from Virginia. He was the fighting parson of the American Revolution. Told you he had some sort of connection. Soldier. Commissioned a colonel in the Virginia militia. He commanded the 8th Virginia Regiment, which became the German Regiment of the Continental Army. They fought at Charleston and Philadelphia, promoted to general in 1777, went to Valley Forge, fought at Brandywine, Germantown, Monmouth, Stony Point, Royal Arch Masonic Lodge, Philadelphia, commander of all forces in Virginia, 1780, fought at Portsmouth and Yorktown, ended as a major general in 1783. So, the fighting parson, John Peter Gabriel Muhlenberg. Interesting. See, you learn things when you take detours. Let's go back onto the road and try not to die. Kind of a random place for a statue. Okay, down this road we go. So we're in the 4850 Connecticut Avenue. That's pretty far up from the White House. The White House is at about, equivalent about the 700 block of Connecticut. So we're about 40 blocks north of the White House right now, which is in miles. This guy's gonna go, I'm gonna let him go. We're like 4 miles, maybe 4 or 5 miles north of the White House. All right, let's go down to this next neighborhood called Van Ness UDC. So down here is the University of the District of Columbia School of Law. University of the District of Columbia is a university for District of Columbia residents. It's not exactly the most strenuous academic institution, but for some people it's perfectly fine to get their college degree. Even has its own subway station, Van Ness UDC. So these buildings that you see all around you are university buildings, UDC. I don't know if they have a sports team. Yeah, UDC, Van Ness campus. I don't know if they have another campus. They might have buildings in other parts of the city. Let's go to the next block. 1851. Okay, let's go back up here. This whole area to my right is diplomatic, basically, except this building. This is the old Intelsat building, which was a satellite corporation until they moved out to the suburbs. Now, the building was bought by the Whittle School. Whittle, which is they have a school in Shenzhen, China, and a school here. It's a private school opened by this guy named Whittle. I think he's a tech billionaire. All right, so now we're gonna have to play Guess the Flags, because I'm not entirely sure who is where back here. Let's go up here. Embassy number 1. Let's see who these guys are. I thought this might be China. China, I think, is behind the corner, though. Oof. Now this is Singapore. This is Singapore's embassy. God, Singapore has a big old embassy. China's behind Singapore. So this is the Singapore embassy. That's as big as the whole city. This is the new Chinese embassy. They just built this. Yeah, there we go. People's Republic of China. This is their embassy. Oh, there's protesters here. People protesting against the Chinese. Now this building here is the Office of Foreign Missions, and this is a US government building. This is sort of like the liaison office that coordinates everything for the US government in our embassies overseas and their embassies here. This one is being renovated. Who is this? No. Jordan. Oh, so this is the Jordanian embassy. And then over here is Bahrain, the Kingdom of Bahrain. There's a lot of Middle Eastern embassies back around here. That's Bahrain. And then back here, can't make out the flag. Red, white, black. Kuwait. This is the Kuwaiti embassy. That's pretty posh. Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, and then let's just keep going, yeah? Let's find some more. That's Jordan. This one, oh, what a colorful flag. Ethiopia. This is the Ethiopian embassy. Pretty posh. This one is just awesome. This is the Embassy of Morocco. Look at that. Look at that like lattice work and all that like patio they've got there. Isn't that cool? That's the Embassy Kingdom of Morocco. Bangladesh. This is the Bangladesh embassy. Oof. And this embassy is like the most secure embassy. No, not this one. This is Ghana. Embassy of Ghana. And then the most secure embassy, the Israeli embassy. This one has like lots of security. They used to have a lot of incidents, a lot of threats at the Israeli embassy. That's why there's Secret Service everywhere, including across the street. And let's wait for this guy. 2 guys to go. Let's go back up here. These are all big ones up here too. Consular section, Embassy of Pakistan. So this is the We're going to see it on the other side. We'll see the main entrance. This is just sort of the back. Nigerian Chancery. So this is Nigeria. We're going to see them from the front as well. And I think this is Egypt. Yep, this is Egypt. That's Egypt. This must be the United Arab Emirates. Yeah, this is the Emirates, United Arab Emirates. That is funky looking. Isn't that cool? These are the Nigerians over here on my left, Nigeria. This is Brunei, the Embassy of Brunei. These are really pretty cool buildings, aren't they? I don't know who this one is. Oh, Malaysia. This is Malaysian Embassy. And then that's Pakistan over there. That's the Pakistanis. And this is the Nigerians. Cool. And let's go down over here. I think there's actually some European embassies down here. That's Egypt. That's Egypt. And over here, is this Malaysia? No, who is this? Embassy of Slovakia. And then Austria. The Austrian embassy is back here. So this is a really quiet kind of place. That is really cool. Look at that fountain. UAE. Fitting I'm wearing my Arsenal hat. They even have a security booth out here by the Egyptian embassy. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that little trip around upper northwest Washington, D.C. I'm gonna go back in and edit up this video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. We keep making videos. We have a Marine One landing tomorrow night about 9:20. Not sure if I'll see it. We'll see. And we'll show you what else we can see around Washington, D.C. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.